IEEE. Meeting you for the next video in the CISSP Made Easy series. Subbu teaches CISSP. Now we are on the domain 1, risk management. This is the fourth video on the risk management. Today, in this particular video, we're going to have a look at NIST 837, which is called as the Risk Management Framework. NIST, with their revision of cybersecurity framework, February this particular year, they have introduced a function called governance. The governance is a big leap forward, is what I would actually say, because the Brit certification assessment, the certification body with which IEEE, my company is actually associated, they're coming up with a very big way on Certified Information Security Governance Officer, which is a level higher than a CISO. The governance layer is one, management layer is another one, and the operational layer, is the ground level. And now in the CSF, when they introduced the governance, govern as a function, that was a significant shift in focus, for the overall cybersecurity. And the risk management framework also underwent a revision in 2018. They introduced one of the first step called prepare. So we're going to have a look at the risk management framework in this particular video. There are a lot of methodologies for risk management identification, and RMF is also one, FME is another one, FRAP is another one. We're going to have a look at that in the further videos down the line. So risk management framework obviously is from National Institute National Institute of Science and Technology, NIST. It's an American organization. Key components: identification. Identification of the risks, measuring the risk, where they are now and how do you want to mitigate. We already saw a formula where threat multiplied by vulnerability multiplied by the impact multiplied by the probability. It's going to give you the risk measurement. Mitigation. So ATMA is what we had actually seen as the treatment plan. The options that are available for us. Mitigation. Is avoid, transfer, and third one is actually to mitigate. How will you mitigate? You have to select the controls to mitigate. If you're trying to avoid it, then mitigation is not required. You are avoiding the threat source, but that if the threat source is unavoidable, you need to mitigate the impact of a threat. Impact due to a threat. When exploiting a vulnerability. So mitigation is putting in a control. Putting in a single layer of control, double layer of control. Whatever, because we have got two firewalls. Defense in depth, layered security, two antiviruses. Everything is in duality. Sometimes the duality will not be the same technology. I have seen the organizations where the perimeter security, the firewall, and the secondary defense, is an IDPS device. But I had seen a particular organization, especially in UAE, government organization, where the perimeter security is IDPS device, not a firewall. And the second in line is actually the firewall. It all depends upon the CISO of the organization, what he is actually going to prefer. Everybody is right in their own way. For people, it comes to the experience. For the people, they want to do an experience. And then it's all up to them. As long as the infrastructure is safe from the hackers, I will not say anything is wrong. You have an IDPS first and the firewall next. Firewall first and IDPS next. Or firewall, and an IDPS. It's all fine. Our objective is to secure the infrastructure, in an optimized way with respect to the budget as well. So reporting and monitoring. Once you mitigate the risk, you have to report on the risk. You have to monitor the risk and report on the risk. The risk monitoring is actually done. When you do the risk identification periodically, automatically something is not done, right? So risk identification is not a single time in an affair. It's going to be a periodic affair. It's like a health check, the security health check, or even the human health check. When you go for a diabetic test, it's not that you do it once in 3 years, right? You have to do it periodically, once in 4 months or once in 6 months. The worst case, you need to do the sugar test to see you are maintaining your diabetes level. Similarly, the security also, when you do a security health check, it's actually a security risk health check. You need to do it periodically. Risk identification is what I would actually say should happen once in 3 months. Then you're part of the enterprise risk management meeting, and the security risk management is actually part of it. The security risk management meeting should happen every week or at least once fortnight. You have to report it to monthly enterprise risk management meeting. That's how it has been. Governance, so all this ORM meeting, ERM meeting, SRM meeting, all these things comes as a part of the governance. Governance committee sits higher than the management. The pictorial representation of the 5 components, 7-step process. You've got something called the prepare. This is with respect to RMF 2.0. Prepare has been introduced. Prepare, categorize, select, implement, assess, authorize, and monitor. prepare for the risk management. Okay, so when you're preparing for the risk management, that basically means that you are defining the scope that is involved for your cybersecurity implementation, and your risk management will also work on the same scope. When you're cybersecurity, because RMF, especially with respect to 2.0, it has been aligned, okay, aligned to CSF. The CSF underwent a revision in 2024. We are expecting RMF 837 to also undergo a revision sooner or later. Okay, because you are aligning yourself to a framework, and the framework changes basically mean that you need to also align yourself towards the modified framework, right? So ideally, we are expecting RMF, which underwent a revision in 2018. We are on 2025, should undergo a revision again. But okay, so they might be working on it. We don't know. So preparing is to define the scope. Okay, so and then you know what is that we need to include as a part of the cyber security. Categorize the system. Okay, so once you have identified the scope and the system, you categorize them, whether this belongs to a particular department, the production system, development system, DR system, test system, blah blah blah. Ideally, the production system and the DR system should have the same security, the controls in place. Okay, and the development test system can be a bit relaxed because they're not customer facing. Okay, at the moment, the production is customer facing. DR system or the BCP system will become customer facing at any point of time. Okay, that moment we cannot be doing the tuning. Okay, because the time to business is very crucial. Okay, so the ideally the replica. Okay, if it's going to be a hot site, it will be exactly the replica of the primary site. Okay, so if you look at the amount of money that is invested on the production system, okay, and securing it, okay, the same thing that should happen for the DR system also. And the test system and development system could be better, bit relaxed. Okay, who's going to pay for it? All these things depends upon the budgetary. If it's going to be an HR MS, the HR department will pay for it. Okay, they'll put in the cost center. Okay, you will be charging them. Okay, you categorize the system, then you select the controls. 853. Okay, the special publication by NIST from which you can choose the controls to be implemented for the RMF. Okay, so it could be system specific or something that is going to be for the infrastructure. If I'm going to install an antivirus on a particular system, that is system specific. Okay, email server, okay, or let's say any other application server, okay, etc. But if it's going to be the firewall for the infrastructure that is shared, okay, between all the departments that are on the trusted network, okay. So I need to select the controls based on the requirements, implement the control. To implement the control, again, if it's going to be shared, then I need to know how many departments are inside. Okay, so if it's going to cost me, $100,000 and the 10 departments, $10,000 what every department needs to share. Okay, so the shared control goes with that. If it's going to be for a specific system, and the system is owned by a specific department in totality, they need to take care of the complete expenditure to implement the security. Okay, they need to request the management. Though it's a single purse, the compartments within the purse are going to be different. Okay, but again, the compartments are different. It's going to be for the organization. So the CISO, okay, should be reporting. Okay, should be requesting the governance committee. Okay, or some organization CISO himself is a part of the governance. Okay, so he's going to ask for money and the budget. Okay, and he need to budget it for all the departments and then get an approval from the governance committee. Okay, on budget allocation. Okay, so they need to you need to implement the controls. Okay, as a part of it. And after the implementation, you check whether the implementation has been done in a right way. Okay, the purpose intended. Okay, for example, you don't have an antivirus or you're upgrading an antivirus. Okay, from one company to other company. Okay, so you need to ensure that the virus incidents that have been quarantined. Okay, it should be in a position to clean it. Okay, or it should not have any virus incident at all. Okay, the cost should be less. I always say BCQRST, benefits, cost, okay, quality, risk, scope, and timeline. Okay, the improvement is going to be shown in all the six or any of the six. Okay, so BCQRST, benefits, cost, quality, risk, scope, and timelines. Okay, so increasing the benefits, decreasing the cost, increasing the quality, reducing the risk, increasing the scope, and reducing the timelines. That's where the benefits are going to be. So you assess, okay, your implementation to ensure, okay, the BCQRST is actually achieved. Okay, once it is done, you go to the top management, say that, yeah, we have done properly, and there's a testing result, and we have got the intended outcome, okay, from this particular change implementation or product. Then your top management is going to say that, yeah, okay, we authorize you to go live. Okay, this is a part of the change. Okay, if at all they don't give you an approval to go live, you have to roll it back. Okay, it could be for anything. It could be for documentation also. Okay, and the places where you are not able to install any other control, okay, and due to the reasons which are valid, and you cannot implement an but you can implement a compensating control, okay, that to mitigate the impact because of particular risk, you can go for a risk acceptance approval. Okay, it's called the dispensation approval from the top management. CISO should do it, or some organization. When I was there in Standard Chartered Bank in 2002, we had an operational IT security team. OITS is what we actually called this as. I'm not sure whether if my team members from UK OITS team is listening to or watching this video, but we need to submit there's a particular form, fill in, and then with a compensating control to them, and they will, they will actually go through the complete documentation, given approval. Okay, if there's a dispensation that is approved, so when you do an audit, it is not a non-conformity. Okay, but they will not approve all the dispensations, right? So you need to have a compensating control to mitigate that particular risk or impact because of the risk. Then you monitor. Okay, it is exactly the PDCA, plan, do, check, and act. Okay, and then you are doing it, and you are checking whether everything is done, and then you are acting. Okay, so you monitor to see whether your intended objectives are actually met. If not, then we need to revise it. Okay, monitoring should be done to ensure that the controls are acting to mitigate the impact because of that particular risk. Okay, if you feel that they are not actually doing it, then the control should be changed. Now, 2018, the NIST RMF fundamental revision. Okay, what is the significant changes of NIST 837 2.0? Introduction of the prepare step. Okay, it did not directly start without the preparation. In fact, for the security incident management also, the preparation is the first step. You need to have the controls in place to ensure that if there is incident coming in, okay, the team is alerted, the SIEM, etc. Okay, the preparation is a very important step in the risk management framework, and they have integrated the the security and the privacy. Okay, if you look at the revision it underwent, it was on 2018. 2018 is the same year the CCPA is also released and GDPR is also released. Okay, I'm not sure whether they have got the chance to discuss with NIST on the GDPR, which is not very obvious. Okay, they are European, and these guys are Americans. Okay, but if you look at the CCPA, I think they should have an opportunity to discuss with the CCPA team also. Okay, so they have introduced the privacy as a part of this. So it's an integrated security and privacy management. Okay, risk management and alignment to the cybersecurity framework is what I told you. Supply chain risk management. Okay, third party risk management is also taken care of. Okay, enhanced focus on system life security. This is also something which I would not be surprised, because though since 2009 10 we have been reading, okay, security by design, security by default is a part of the information security management books. Okay, and privacy by design, privacy by default is something that has been made prominent, okay, with respect to the data protection. So RMF also focused on implementing security and privacy as a part of the system software development lifecycle. Automation, okay, if you're going to focus on continuous improvement, then automation, efficiency improvement are something that you will focus. Governance and executive engagement, okay, it's beyond the management level. Okay, you have to engage on the part of the RMF to ensure that the C-suite layer, okay, is well informed about the particular risk or the risks that are generally high and very high. Okay, if there's got an impact with respect to regulatory compliance. Okay, the C-suite level is updated about all those risks. Trusted system, okay, and software. Okay, whenever you're going to integrate a particular component onto your infrastructure or application, okay, so the RMF promotes you want to trust it. Okay, you want to test it, and only if it's going to be vulnerability free for the moment. Okay, vulnerability is always there until it is introduced or until you discover it. Okay, at the moment you're going to integrate it, okay, it should be vulnerability free, basically risk free. Expanded roles and responsibilities. Okay, so the privacy is introduced. The privacy officers or data protection officers are also actually a part of it. Okay, so stakeholders' involvement has been there. Okay, complaints updated regulation. Okay, so this is more specific to US. Executive Order 13800 OMB Circular 8130, blah blah blah. Okay, though it might not be very applicable for us as a part of the world. Okay, but the updates with respect to the regulatory compliance, okay, has also been involved as a part of the RMF. Now, whenever you go for a cyber security framework audit or ISO 27001 audit, and non-conformity becomes a major non-conformity, which is going to be a deviation with respect to the regulatory compliance, be it GDPR, be it HIPAA. Okay, now DPDP in India, PDPL in KSI. PDPL is going to be in the United Arab Emirates, okay, any sooner is going to hit as a law, or the enforcement is going to be made. And Bahrain has got a law, Oman has got a law, Qatar has got a law, Kuwait has got a law, okay, Egypt has got a law. Okay, so the regulatory complaint, a deviation from the regulatory complaints is a clear major non-conformity. Okay, so this is all on this video. So join me for your winning CISSP classes. Subscribe to this particular channel for your regular videos on CISSP. Data protection is going to be followed. Security governance will be following it. Okay, so the Subramaniam Shankaran from IEEE. Cheers and thank you for joining. Okay, enjoy your day then. Bye bye.